Why would a global conservation group mobilize a multi-million-dollar fleet of high-altitude stealth drones, integrated AI tactical networks, and elite rapid response teams, just to protect a single, solitary creature? At first glance, it looks like absolute overkill. It looks like a fever dream of modern warfare. But this operation comes down to a strict, unspoken code that mirrors the most elite units of the US military. Leave no one behind. In this case, that one isn't a downed pilot or a stranded operator. It's a survivor, a literal ghost roaming the tall grass of the African savanna. Right now, in the pitch-black wilderness, a clandestine war is being fought. This isn't about territory, and it isn't about resources. It's about the very concept of extinction. This is the silent law of the wild. To uphold it, these teams will literally deploy tens of millions of dollars in military-grade hardware, launch unblinking electronic surveillance nets, and put specialized boots on the ground, all just to keep one heart beating in the dust. We're talking about the last Northern White Rhino, a creature so rare, it is effectively a living fossil to the world's most ruthless poaching syndicates. This animal is a paycheck worth more than its weight in gold. But the defenders have stopped playing by the old rules. They've traded traditional ranger patrols for specialized surveillance platforms and advanced FLIR thermal imaging systems that can pinpoint a human heat signature from 5 miles out. It is the ultimate paradox of cost. Why burn a fortune to save a life that seems so fragile against the weight of history? Because once he's gone, there is no stage 2. There is no reboot. But as we speak, the horizon is moving, the sensors are screaming, and the silent law is about to be tested in blood and iron. This is stage 1, the death trail. At exactly 0215 hours, a high-altitude surveillance satellite integrated with predictive AI algorithms flags a thermal anomaly 10 miles outside the protected zone.
This isn't a brush fire or a wandering herd. The signature is too structured.
3 distinct heat sources moving in a tactical formation, utilizing the deep shadows of the acacia groves to mask their advance. These aren't just local opportunistic hunters, these are professional poaching syndicates, equipped with black market night vision and encrypted GPS units. They are closing in on a high-value target. Our solitary survivor, the rhino, is currently grazing in a shallow, open basin, completely unaware that he's been painted by a target lock. He's exposed, and in this terrain, he has nowhere to hide. That leads us to stage 2, the digital mist. To buy the ground team's time, the command center initiates a massive electronic deception campaign. They launch a fleet of specialized stealth drones, autonomous platforms designed with a razor-thin acoustic signature and radar-absorbing coatings. These aren't your typical hobbyist quadcopters. They are invisible nets in the sky. Miles above the savanna, they deploy a multispectral electronic warfare suite. The objective? To completely blind the poachers' communication and navigation arrays without them even realizing they've been compromised. By subtly spoofing their GPS coordinates, the drones lure the syndicate toward a rugged, impassable ravine 3 miles away from the actual location of the rhino. It is a phantom exfiltration path, a digital ruse that forces the enemy to burn precious fuel and daylight searching for a target that isn't there. While the poachers are chasing ghosts in the digital mist, we move to stage 3, the tip of the spear. While the savanna usually sleeps in dead silence, tonight, the air is cut by the muffled thrum of a specialized aero squadron. These are ultra-light carbon fiber tactical helicopters built for low-altitude agility and near-silent operation. They arrive at the insertion point, narrow plateau overlooking the basin, armed not with missiles, but with the world's most elite conservation operators. These teams are the Delta Force of the wild, trained for surgical precision in high-stress environments. They descend via fast rope, hitting the dirt with absolute discipline. Their mission is simple but incredibly dangerous. Establish a 360-degree defensive perimeter around the target and secure the immediate vicinity. They move like shadows, utilizing terrain masking and multicam uniforms to blend into the tall grass. Every movement is calculated. Every breath is disciplined. They aren't just here to watch. They are here to dominate the battle space. But you can't maintain a defensive line without eyes everywhere. That brings us to stage 4, the forward operating base, in a move that mirrors a high-stakes military raid. The team sets up a temporary, mobile AI monitoring station hidden inside an abandoned, weathered outcrop. They turn a patch of dry African dirt into a high-tech staging ground. Here, they deploy a series of unblinking eyes, ground-based LiDAR sensors, and long-range acoustic arrays that can detect the snap of a twig or the idle of an engine from miles away. All of this data is fed into a centralized AI tactical network that creates a real-time, spherical view of the entire engagement zone. The operators on the ground receive instant updates on their heads-up displays, highlighting every heat anomaly and movement within a 5-mile radius. It is a temporary fortress of data, designed to ensure that no threat goes undetected, Just as the perimeter is locked down and the unblinking eye is watching, the air shifts. The digital ruse has reached its limit. The poachers have realized they were being led in circles, and they are not happy. The phantom exfiltration is over. They have corrected their coordinates, and they are now speeding back toward the basin with a vengeance. The horizon starts moving again. But this time, it's not just a heat signature. It's a massive convoy of off-road vehicles, moving fast and armed to the teeth. The mission was supposed to be a quiet extraction of data and security, but as the dust clouds rise in the distance, it's clear that everything is about to go wrong, proving that when you're standing between an extinction event and a paycheck, the military is willing to push every piece of tech to the breaking point just to save a single comrade. We are now entering the kill zone. The exfiltration point is hot, and the clock is ticking down to 0. What happened next was an absolute slugfest. A massive, high-intensity firefight erupted right in the middle of the open basin. Look at this terrain. It's a tactical nightmare. Our operators were pinned, taking heavy fire from 3 sides, as the poaching syndicate's convoy surged forward, dumping rounds from heavy machine guns. To keep the extraction corridor from collapsing, the command center had to make a brutal, split-second decision. To protect the Rhino from a direct hit, they pushed the primary surveillance drone, a $15 million stealth platform, directly into the line of fire. It served as a high-tech decoy, its magnesium flares burning at 4,000 degrees to blind the poachers' night vision arrays. Just as the team loaded the survivor into the heavy-lift transport, the drone was shredded by a concentrated barrage, spiraling into the dirt in a ball of flame. $15 million of cutting-edge aerospace engineering sacrificed in seconds to buy one creature a chance to live. But how did all of this actually start? To understand the chaos of the basin, we have to go back 24 hours. At 0900 hours, the Ghost was located in a deep, rocky gorge, a natural fortress. We thought he was invisible. We thought the mission was locked down, but then the horizon broke. To properly analyze why our security was compromised, you need to understand that there are 2 distinct ways to see a target in the modern age: radio frequency radar and infrared search and track systems. The drones and sensors protecting the Rhino were designed to be practically invisible to traditional long-range radar. Their geometry and radar-absorbing materials make their radar cross-section incredibly small, essentially rendering them ghosts to any standard scanning network. But there's a major vulnerability that even the most advanced stealth technology struggles to hide: the heat signature. The African savanna is a furnace. During the day, the ground temperature can exceed 120 degrees, creating a massive, shimmering heat plume. In this environment, traditional stealth doesn't mean you're invisible. It means you're just a different shade of hot. The Rhino, a 4,000-pound mammal, is essentially a giant radiator. Instead of using radar, which emits energy and gives away the hunter's position, modern poaching syndicates have started utilizing passive infrared sensors. These systems scan the horizon for heat anomalies without emitting a single beep on a radar warning receiver. Our stealth net was optimized to defeat radio frequency detection, but in the brutal midday sun, the Rhino's thermal output stood out like a beacon against the cooler shadows of the acacia trees. The syndicate wasn't looking for a radar return. They were hunting for a thermal spike, and they found it. But this is where the AI took over. Once the tactical network realized the poachers were utilizing infrared tracking, it initiated a race of physics and countermeasures. The mission's central brain began real-time adjustments to the fleet's flight patterns, utilizing dynamic thermal masking. The AI calculated the exact angle of the sun and the ground's heat radiation to position our assets so their heat plumes blended into the background environment. It was a digital shell game, played at the speed of light. The AI didn't just hide the team, started projecting phantom heat signatures across the gorge, forcing the syndicate to waste time investigating empty patches of dirt that looked and their sensors exactly like a 4-ton Rhino. When the enemy finally realized they were chasing ghosts, all hell broke loose. They stopped being subtle and started being fast, leading directly to the slugfest in the basin. But as the transport bird finally cleared the ridge, battered and low on fuel, it proved one thing. No matter how many millions of dollars you spend on silicon, carbon fiber, and stealth coatings, they are just tools. At the end of the day, the technology is only as strong as the human will behind the controls. We are willing to move heaven and earth to burn the most advanced tech we have, and to stand in the gap between a paycheck and an extinction event. Because in this unit, the code is immutable. We do not leave anyone behind. Not the pilots, not the operators, and certainly not the last of a kind. As we've stated from the very beginning, no one gets left behind. Not the downed airmen, not the elite operators, and certainly not the last surviving ghost of a species on the brink of silence. When we stand in the gap between a living fossil and its final breath, we aren't just saving an animal, we are defending the immutable legacy of our entire planet. This mission, with its millions of dollars in silicon, stealth coatings, and raw human courage, proves a fundamental truth. Some lives are worth moving heaven and earth for. The safety of this Rhino today is more than just a tactical victory in the savannah. It is a spherical blueprint for a new era of protection. It's the ultimate guarantee that even in a world of high-tech threats, anonymous syndicates, and global reaches, we have the tools and the absolute will to hold the line. Just as securing your personal data or shielding your digital footprint prevents a catastrophic chain reaction of loss in your own life, defending these vulnerable links in our ecosystem prevents a biological collapse that no amount of future wealth could ever reverse. It's about trust. Trust in the technology, trust in the specialized teams on the ground, and trust that we will be there when the horizon starts moving. We create original, high-stakes videos from scratch, researched and animated by humans who believe that these stories define who we are. If you believe that no one and nothing should ever be left behind, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next time we deploy everything we have to save what remains. We're keeping an unblinking eye on the world's most critical missions. Stay secure, stay informed, and stay with us.